Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the memorial ceremony for the soldiers of the Israeli Defense Forces and the victims of terror. Today, we stand united with the Jewish nation, we, the Jewish people in the diaspora, to honor our brothers and sisters who have tragically died on the battlefields and in terrorist attacks throughout the years. We also commemorate the soldiers of the IDF and the Jewish underground that fell in combat during the War of Independence, the Sinai War, the Six-Day War, the War of Attrition, the Yom Kippur War, Operation Shalom HaGalil, Operation Wall of Strength, the First and Second Lebanon Wars, the First and Second Intifadas, and all the defense operations of the IDF.
Yom Hazikaron, Israel's Memorial Day, is a day of collective and personal pain. This day is the saddest day in Israel. Everything shuts down. For one day, everyone in Israel gathers to mourn their heroes and victims. We all become one big family. The Israeli soldiers and victims of terrorism are a symbol. They symbolize Israel and the Jewish people's everlasting struggle to exist. They are our heroes, all 23,928 of them. The gravestones of all fallen soldiers, no matter the rank or length of service, look exactly the same. This is to show that any life that is lost for the sake of the country are all remembered and honored equally. On Yom Hazikaron, there is an IDF soldier standing next to every military grave to show respect and to commemorate the memory of each and every one. The names of the fallen are proudly engraved in Israel's history. In their death, they gave us life. במותם ציוו לנו את החיים.
We will now take a moment to light the Yortzeit candle in their memory. Daniel Haas. Daniel, the son of Shoshana and Meir Haas, was born on January 9, 1955 in Cleveland, Ohio. Ever since he was a teenager, Daniel was extremely sensitive to every aspect of Israeli life and world Jewry. He was deeply affected by every terror incident against Jewish people all over the world. When he graduated from high school, he moved to New York and studied design. He proved to be a talented artist. But he was distracted and started taking more interest in the fate of the Jewish people. In 1979, he made Aliyah and started learning at Bar-Ilan University. A year later, he joined the IDF as part of the Nahal unit. Daniel became a squad commander of the Infantry Corps Battalion. On July 21st, 1982, Daniel led his unit on a patrol near an Arab village and encountered an ambush in Lebanon during Milchemet Shlom HaGalil. Daniel was wounded and died shortly after. He was 27 years old. He is buried in the military cemetery in Har Herzl in Jerusalem. He is survived by his parents and 4 sisters.
Too many soldiers have been killed while protecting the state of Israel. Each and every one of them is a whole world. Each and every one of them has his own life.
ערב ראשון שלבד יושב וכותב לך מכתב על כל הדברים שהיו, כל מה שקרה בדיוק. אותיות מופיעות על הקיר, אני הפחד נעים להכיר, הדמויות אוהבות לשחק, זזות כאן בבית הריק, ואת לא יודעת כמה ממך ניסיתי להסתיר את כל הסיוטים בלילה, צרחות ודם על המדים, את לא מבינה כבר למה אני מזמן כבר לא אני, תמונות רצות מאותו לילה, דמעות כאב של לוחמים. זה ערב ראשון שאת שם, אני שוכב וחושב לא נרדם, השקט לאט מתנגן, מקדיש לך עכשיו שיר בלי שם, שיר בלי שם, ואת לא יודעת כמה ממך ניסיתי להסתיר את כל הסיוטים בלילה, צרחות ודם על המדים, את לא מבינה כבר למה אני מזמן כבר לא אני, תמונות רצות מאותו לילה, דמעות כאב של לוחמים.
Ron Peleg was our young emissary in 2014-15 and was partnered with Noah Roche. Ron's father, Yuval, and a friend of his, Yoram Biton, were in the Lebanon War together, however briefly. This is the story of Yoram Biton, as told by Ron's father, Yuval.
Yoram Biton. Yoram was born on February 19th, 1962 in Afula and was raised in Dvora, a village next to Ramon, the village Ron Peleg's father Yuval grew up in. The same village in which Ron was born and raised, Afula, Dvora, and Ramon are all part of our partnership region. Ron's father and Yoram had been friends and classmates from the first grade all the way through graduation. They were even recruited to the same unit, the paratroopers. Yoram was recruited in August 1980, 6 months before Yuval. After finishing commander training, Yoram was assigned to be the operations directorate at the School for Infantry Corps Professions and Squad Commanders, known as Bislamach Brigade. Later, Ron's father, Yuval, also went through the training to become a commander, and during his course, the two friends got to see each other and spend time together.
By the beginning of June 1982, there were tensions heating up with Lebanon, causing the IDF to seize all commander courses and send all of their commander trainees, including Ron's father, up to the north on a stakeout operation at the border with Lebanon. Their job was to keep anyone out who might be trying to enter Israel. While Battalion 450, in which Yuval and Yoram were placed, was sitting at the border, the Lebanese were launching Katyusha rockets at them. It became too dangerous, so the commanders of the battalion decided to move everyone to a different location in order to prepare for what was to come. This was 2 days before the war had actually started. While driving in a convoy to the new location, they were being bombed by Katyusha rockets. One of the rockets exploded just behind Yuval's vehicle, and the debris hit and killed one of the soldiers, Ori Belinsky, who was sitting right next to Yuval in the Jeep. He was the first casualty of the war.
Yoram had planned to undergo an officer's training course, but when the Peace for the Galilee War broke out, His unit went up to Lebanon, and Yoram was assigned as a driver in the armored personnel carrier. After arriving at their destination, they had time to prepare. Ron's father, Yuval, went to sit with Yoram and his squad, unknowingly for the last time, as Yoram and his entire squad would be killed sometime later.
It was now the first day of the war, and the time had arrived for them to leave, this time to actually enter Lebanon. They started to drive, again in a convoy, Yoram in the first vehicle, Yuval in the fourth. They entered Lebanon, and their first task was to capture the city of Tyre. They were supposed to attack it from the north, but while driving east to it, they were ambushed, and the first three vehicles were attacked with missiles. While the fourth vehicle, the one Ron's father was in, got separated from the other three. The three vehicles caught on fire. Soldiers were jumping from their jeeps. Three armored personnel carriers went around Yuval's vehicle in order to help the wounded. After gathering the wounded, they started to retreat, not having time to gather the dead. Later on, Yuval was part of a team of soldiers sent to search for the bodies. Yoram was not found that day. 2 or 3 days later, Yoram's body was found in an entirely different place. No one knew exactly what had happened to them.
Later, it was learned when Yoram left the armored personnel carrier, he was hit in the chest by gunfire from the ambush, and he fell in the line of duty on the day of Tu B'Sivan, 5762, and was brought to rest in the cemetery of Moshav Devorah. His family donated a Torah library to the synagogue in Moshav Devorah to commemorate Yoram. This year, on Memorial Day, Ron's father, Yuval, will be standing next to his grave during the siren. May Yoram Biton rest in peace.
Please rise if you are able for the El Malei Rachamim and Kaddish. Please remain standing for Israel's national anthem, Hatikva, which will close this memorial service.
El Malei Rachamim, Shochen B'Meramim, Hamtzei Menucha Nechona Al Kanfei Hashchina, B'Ma'alot Kedoshim Tahorim V'Giborim, Kezohar Harakia Mazhirin, Lenishmahot Chayalei Tzava Hagana Yisrael, Velochamei Hamachtarot Shenaflu B'Milchamot Yisrael, V'chol Halochamim B'Marachot Ha'am Shecherfu Nafsham Lamut Al Kedushat Hashem, ובעזרת אלוהי מערכות ישראל הביאו לתקומת האומה והמדינה ולגאולה הארץ ועיר האלוהים, וכל אלה שנרצחו בארץ ומחוצה לה בידי המרצחים מארגוני הטרור. לכן בעל הרחמים יסתירם בסתר כנפיו לעולמים, ויצרור בצרור החיים את נשמתם. אדוני הוא נחלתם, וגם אין תהא מנוחתם, וינוחו בשלום על משכבם, ויעמדו לגורלם לקץ הימים, ונאמר אמן.
Please, if you like, recite the Mortis Kaddish with me. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah. V'yalmad yivarach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei yitzmach pirkanei v'karev mishichei. V'chayeichon v'yomeichon v'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael. Magalav v'zman kariv imru amen.
Amen.
Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach v'yalam ulamei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'tromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shemei dekudsha b'richu. Leila min kol berchata v'shirata tush b'chata v'nechemata Damiran Bialma Vimru. Amen.
Amen.
Shalom Bimromav. Hubrachamav Yaseh Shalom. Alenu Vial Kol Yisrael Vimru. Amen.
Thank you for honoring with us Israel's fallen soldiers and victims of terror. May their memories always be for a blessing.
We transition from the Memorial Day, Yom Hazikaron, straight to Yom Ha'atzmaut, Israel Independence Day, because that was Israel's reality. After the War of Independence Day, at the end of 1947, the declaration of the state took place. Bemotam tzivu lanu et hachaim. There is a painful connection between death and the continuance of life.
Thank you all for being with us today. And now just a little footnote. Upon the conclusion of Hatikva, you may click off and go to the link you received after registering for the Yom Ha'atzmaut celebration. If you've not yet registered, please use the registration link I will put in the chat. It will take you directly to the event. We look forward to celebrating Israel's 73rd birthday with you all. Please remain standing or rise if you are able for Hatikva.
נפש יהודי הומייה ולפתן מזרח קדימה עין לציון צופיה עוד לא אבדה תקוותנו
Thank you again for joining us. Please click off and click on to Yom Ha'atzmaut, and we will see you there. Thank you all so much. Good night. I'm not clicking on.